Hello and welcome to the 12th session of my OSE Hexcrawl. At the end of last session we had two losses. We lost our fighter and we lost an NPC that I actually thought was a thief, but apparently according to his card is actually a cleric. Now obviously first level clerics don't cast spells, had leather armor, so maybe it was a cleric of a thiefy kind of sneaky god. That may kind of explain why everyone thought he was a thief, including myself. But at the end of the day, it didn't make much difference to his survivability, so we lost him as well. So what we're going to do this session, before we do anything else, with everyone else back at Blind Feet, we're going to roll up a new fighter PC, and then we're going to roll on the cards and see what NPC we can get to replace our other lost NPC. So what we do is I'm going to roll 3 lots of stats. We normally roll like 7 for the 5, so I think 3 kind of gives us a decent advantage of hopefully getting something that's not got any terrible stats. Good thing about fighters is they don't have a minimum requirement, so whatever we roll is okay. Obviously the better strength the better, but yeah, all in all, not too bad. So let's get some dice rolling and carry on that. Okay, so it looks like here, great strength, 9, 10, 10, absolutely terrible. But we do have one with 18 dexterity. Now that seems like probably a good idea to maybe use that as our new fighter. But obviously shifting the focus to missile-based attacks rather than melee-based attacks. So I think we will keep this one. Just grabbing the rule book for now. So I believe we can move some stuff around stat-wise. What have we got here? Adjustability scores. Intelligence, strength, and wisdom can be lowered. Every 2 points will be reduced. 1 point may be added to your primary requisite. Appeasement level strength. Intelligence, strength, and wisdom. Well, wisdom's not. Wisdom's 11. So we could knock that down to 9 to get us an 11 strength. Not that I think that makes much of a difference. So 6 intelligence is probably the worst thing about it. So yeah, this person is not going to be the smartest knife in the drawer. What we got? 6 intelligence is going to be 10 write simple words. Okay. Maybe we've got some kind of barbarian-y kind of hunter kind of character that, yeah, education is not important, survivability is important. So they spend all their time training with a bow. So that's that. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. We'll roll 1d8 for hit points. Constitution 9 doesn't give anything. 1 hit point. Okay, that is absolutely terrible. Okay. Well, did it say anything about minimum hit points? So I could just check. Also make sure 9's going to give it. No, 9 is a 0 on that one. All hit points. At least 1 hit point regards to combat. Re-rolls at 1 to 2. So if you're combo 1 and 2 before combat 5, referee. Right, we're going to re-roll that. Oh my, okay, 3 ones in the right. Right, there we go, 6. That's better. Yeah, we're going to go with that roll because 1 hit point means literally if he gets sneezed on, he's not going to last more than 2 seconds. Okay, so that's our new fighter, missile based. Oh, and 3d6 times 10 for that one. So that's what's that? 5, 11, 13, 130 gold pieces. Right, so I think a bow is obviously going to be the focus of that one. And then we're going to roll 1d100 to see which NPC we get as a replacement for other one. So 08, which actually might be another fighter. Oh no, it's a cleric. 05, 08. We have Neurosorrel, cleric number 1, staff, plus strength, 13 strength, 15 dexterity, con of 14, intelligence 12, wisdom 17, charisma 13. And their quirks. Okay. A beautiful, live woman in her mid-20s, waist-length blonde hair, adorned with various feathers. Nura loves life and revels in the beauty of nature found in sunset. Okay, more juristic. Okay, so ritualistic. Nura's faith calls for her to perform a ritual dance every dawn that lasts anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour. She's unable to do so. She feels she's neglected the duty and suffers a -1 penalty to attack until the dance is complete. Okay, so we are going to use that. We're going to remember that. Every day, we're going to roll 1d6, and it's going to be 10-minute intervals for 1d6, and we're going to see how long it takes for them to get off and do their little dance. So, yeah, right, there we go. That's what we got. We will go with that, and we'll be back when the character sheets are filled in, and we can start off our journey back to the dungeon, one route or another. Okay, so this is our new fighter, Finn, Ashgrove. As said before, intelligence 6, not sharpest knife in the drawer, but dexterity of 18, so they can shoot a longbow quite effectively. So that's what we've gone for. Chainmail and a longsword, and then we've got Nura, which is our NPC that we came up with last time. Now, as I was filling this sheet out, I realised the point of having NPCs and PCs. Our PCs are our heroes. They are effectively our player characters. Our NPCs are not. Our NPCs are hirelings. They've got a morale rating. When we get people die in combat, we need to make a morale check to see what happens. And also, because of the rules in the book, at the end of each adventure, we make a morale check to see if they stick around. So we have our 2 remaining NPCs here, which have a morale of 8 apiece. So after getting back to Brian Keep, sorry, we make a morale check to see if they hang around. So 8 or lower for our magic user, 6, yes, and 8 or lower for our halfling. No, our halfling says, nope, not having that, I'm off. Too much death, too much destruction. I think I'm going to go and leave. So our halfling leaves the party, which means we can recruit a new NPC. That's exactly what we're going to do. So going through my deck of NPCs, shifting out all the ones that have previously died. We are on number 1 again. We'll actually put him back in because he hasn't died. So we'll put him back into the mix. Actually, I'll keep him out for now because I don't want to roll him again. He might come. He might shut later on. Oh God! Now they're all going everywhere. Luminal. Right. Okay. 1d100. 90. That's a, what's that? That is going to be a thief, I think. So it's 90. Yep. Okay. We have Kessia Flamehair. First level thief. Morale of 8. Backstab. Short bow, short sword. Woman in the mid-20s with distinctive waist-length wavy red hair. Puts on a brave front, but a lingering sense of desperation hangs over. A blank slate, remembering nothing before a life before waking up in some ruins 8 months ago. Cassie took a name from a tornado found nearby. Not now it was her own. She writes down everything that happens in case it happens again. Okay, cool. So that is our new thief. So we've got 3 people. So obviously her motivation is like, well, something happened out there. I need to go and figure out what's going on. So I'm going to venture out into the ruins and see if I can find any information about myself. But yeah, we'll put our dead guys in, and we'll put our halfling back in the list just in case he does make a materialization back in. So another thing I discovered as well is I've been using the wrong map for hex number 4. So I've obviously generated hex number 4 twice for 2 different groups, and randomly generate locations on this one and the previous version. So what I've done is I have compiled them back together. So we've now got some earthworks. We've now got dungeons and a few other bits and bobs, some caves. This is the path that I did last time, which is the sand, which I definitely remember doing with the first group. So going down the path and offwards to the west, that's probably where I generated the second one. So this is our second group. So we've got a dungeon on there, which we obviously was passed by last time. And then we've got another dungeon here as well with some other stuff as well. So our heroes, I think, are still going to go back to the previous place they went to, because obviously that's where the people fell, and they probably owe it to them to kind of reclaim that. So what we'll do is we'll go back and go through and see if we've got some random encounters. So let's grab that map. Okay. So we're on Brine Keep. We've got 3 days worth of travel to the plains, and then 3 days worth of travel to back to the forest. Again, exactly was that same last time. So we've got a random encounter in the morning as we get to this hex here, or we'll say the scrub because that one's kind of unnamed. So we'll say it was 1 in the morning, no encounter. They camp at the evening on the end of the river. Again, like last time, that's where they left the raft. So they could use the raft, but they've begun upstream, so they're probably going to leave it. 1, we have an encounter. Okay, so we have a choice of a plains encounter or a water encounter. I think last time I did the water encounter, so let's have a look at that. And the other thing was as well, is this supposed to be, this was a pond that got rolled 3 times in a row. So technically speaking, this water is probably only about 3 feet deep, maybe 4 feet deep at the very, very most. Now, to most people, that's swimmable. People in Armour probably not so much, and Halflings definitely not. But if they could get a boat here, they could do it. It's just a matter of travelling the whole 6 miles across this hex, dragging a boat behind them. That's a bit of a nightmare. So maybe somewhere along this line, maybe in these hexes here, we've got some kind of, boat people that are around here that they could do something. But at the moment, we haven't taken long around. So let's see what random encounter we've got here. Yeah, we'll go for Lake and River because technically we're not on that plains hex. So 1d8 is going to give us 8, a swimmer, and that is table L, G, J, K, L. Swimmer, 1d12. 4, we have a large crocodile. Okay, that's fine. So grabbing the monster book. Crocodile. Crocodile large. Number appearing 0. May attack small watercraft 1d4. So that's a number appearing 0. That's interesting. 4 large crocodiles. Crikey, they're tough. Jeez. Okay. Interesting. Right, so let's go on the reaction table and see how they actually react to us. Oh, 2d6. We have a 9. Indifferent, uninterested. Okay, that's probably saved their lives pretty much. So as they come off that river, they come probably across the bridge. They start to make camp, and as they're doing that, they see these crocodiles swimming down the river to probably, or swimming up the river, probably not towards the ocean, would they? They're probably going up the way. So they're going up towards the pond, which again means the pond has probably got crocodiles in it. So there you go. And they see they're indifferent. They back away our heroes a little bit further away from the river than they were previously, so they're not kind of in sight, and they can make their camp there and for the night, no problem at all. So no combat, best avoided. Let's just step away and make sure everything's safe. So next morning we have a travel again. We'll say into the new plains. We're going to make another random encounter check. We don't get a random encounter, and then we get to the go down the riverside like we did last time. We're going to make another encounter check here at the forest. We do not get an encounter. So instead of venturing into the dungeon this time around, we're going to make another camp here outside probably on the edge of the river, edge of this forest hex, and see what's going on. That was our second encounter. And then we're going to wait another day. And then the next morning, before we head into the dungeon, we're going to make another check. No encounter. And we're normally up, say we're normally up at 6 o'clock. We've got Nura needs to do her little rituals in the mornings. It's not affected us any other time because we're obviously not going into anything else. It's going to take 50 minutes. So for the first 50 minutes of the day, so we're probably now leaving nearer 7 than 6. We are now heading towards this here. We've got a little while to walk across this towards where the dungeon was previously. So that's going to be another, say, 20 minutes, half an hour or so. So we're now looking at 7:30 in the morning before we actually get to the dungeon. So let's get the dungeon map out. Okay, so we have adjusted our marching order. We've got Dagram and Garth now at the front. Kessie's dropped in next to the other thief. Our 2 magic users, and Flynn and Laura at the back with our 2 bows. The other thing I forgot to mention as well is anyone wounded would recover 1d3 hit points by resting, or they could be kind of healed as well by magic user. So I've decided 2 days is enough between the 2 of them. So that's another extra 2 days. So that would be day 20 just to get back there. Plus 2 days travel will be 22. Plus 2 days travel here will be 24. So this is actually day 24. So I think what we're going to do, we'll start a new line here so that we've got a full kind of tracking system to actually go on. And obviously they've got 2 entranceways they can come in. They can come down the stairs they came previously and they've started investigating these doors here, or they can go to the place where they fought the direwolf, go down level 2, probably not a good idea, or go down back to level 1 and then try this passageway here, which I think is what they're going to do. So first round we mess around up here, we go down here, we go 30 feet, we go 10, 20, 30, pop, pop. And then we go just around the corner again to 30, kind of exactly where we were last time. We can see if we get a random encounter. We don't get a random encounter. So now we need to go back to the book and see what's further up this corridor. Okay, so we are rolling 1d20 again as normal. I could probably move that out of the way a second. Not a lot of room in my little crafting area, so just have to make do what we got. So 1d20, 12. Passage turns. Check with table 3. Check again after 30 feet. Passage turns, table 3. Turns 1d20. 16. Turns 90 degrees to the right. Okay, that is going to clash with this. So what we'll say is, for the sake of consistency, this goes up and this goes down 2. We'll say that this is going to turn 90 degrees there, and it's going to take us underneath this room. We can roll on the passage width as well, see what's going on with that. See if it winds up. 6, no, 10 foot wide. Checking another 30 feet, so we'll say that's another 30 feet. 1, and we'll say 2. Random encounter should get to the corner. No random encounter. D20. 17. Stairs again. Oh, crikey, okay. Right, so these are I've got to go. These have to go down. The stairs can't go anywhere but down. Where are we? Stairs. Table 6. Table 6. No, that's all the treasure. Table 6. Stairs. Right. Let's roll this and see if we can come up with something that makes sense. Other than that, we re-roll or we adjust. A 5. Down 1 level. Well, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so they go down a level. Okay, well, that's no good. Okay, yes, so with that, we can now backtrack. We'll have to go 3 times our movement rate because we've been here previously. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So our wolves disappeared down this corridor last time. So we're going to go that way. So we've got 1, 3, 6, 9 encounter. No. Oh, now we've got an encounter. 3, 6, end of this one. After this corridor entry has been rolled out, 12. Passage turns again. Table 6. Sorry, table 4. 7. Left 90 degrees. Check again after 30 feet. Okay, and this is where we're going to get a new encounter, right on this corner again. No encounter. Okay, now we're back to slow mode because we've not explored this area. So that's our first round. Our second round takes us to here. 18. Dead end. Walls left, right, and ahead can be checked for secret doors. Okay. Now, so our walls disappeared. So what happened to our walls? Did they run down here, mess around, and then just stood there, and because we went in that direction, our walls backed up and just carried on, which is entirely possible. That's, that's funny. Or is there a secret door here? So we have got our secret door finder people. So first of all, we can do our thieves. Okay, our thieves got find and remove traps, but that doesn't really actually apply here, which I, again, kind of think about it. So we've got 3 people here, which are going to be our NPC searching. So that's a 1 in 6 chance. And they search a 10-foot square. So it's going to search the entire area. So 1 in 6, no. 1 in 6, no. 1 in 6, no. Right, we have our PCs, which is going to be 1 in 6, no. 1 in 6, no. Oh, actually, you got quiet. No, you're 1 in 6. Gorth, 1 in 6, no. I'll clear. Oh, other thief, 1 in 6, yes. Okay, and then we will check the other dudes just in case we find another one. 1 in 6, no. And our elf is 2 in 6. No. So there is 1 secret door. So that takes a turn to do that. It's 10 minutes of searching around. Our thief actually comes up with it. And we're going to go 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. 6 is there. Okay, so continue onwards. R1. Corridor straight, takes for 60 rounds. Okay, so does this mean this secret door was left open and our our walls are looked through? We won't know. That's 30, 40, 50, 60. That's 2 more rounds to travel that way round. So halfway down that corridor, we're going to get a possible random encounter. Nope. And then we've got that round as well. And then we are here. D20, 8. Side passage. Check again after 30 feet. Side passage, 1d20, 19. 4-way intersection. Interesting. Okay, so obviously, as said before, our maps only go as far as the edge of this paper. So these are going to be kind of, non-ways, I think it's going to be. So unless we can get a turn here, so we'll just so we'll stand there for this round. We'll take a look up one corridor. We'll take a look up the other corridor. 1d20 chamber. So that's a chamber. Oh, wrong dice. 3, 20 by 20. Ooh. Okay, we're going to fudge it. That's what we're going to do. Right, so our heroes look that way, first of all. Chamber. 17. Stairs. And then the other direction. 15. Here's another chamber. 19. Unusual shape and size. 4. a circular chamber. Thirteen. 2,700 square feet. Crikey. How big is that? Okay, I'm going to have to get the old mathematical calculator out and see if I can figure that one out. Okay, a little bit of Googling says that should be a 60 feet across chamber, which is huge. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, that's going to be there. This is barely going to fit. We're going to have to think how we're going to do this. Okay. That'll do. That's fine. Okay. So, which way they're going to go? Stairs, chamber, chamber. Now, I'd say they're going to check chambers first of all, because they're not going to go for the stairs. So 1 to 2, 3 to 4. 1 to 2, they're going to go to the little chamber. They're going to go to little chamber. Okay, so we have a D20. 8, we have empty. But we also have a random encounter. So, random encounter. We have a 1. We get a random encounter anyway. So they make their way to the edge of the chamber. It's supposed to be empty, but we have a random encounter. So, dungeon level 1. Where are we? Dungeon level 1. 1d20. 6. No, sorry, 9. Yeah, 9. Killer bees. Okay, that's an interesting one. 1d10 killer bees. 10 killer bees. Okie dokie. Right, so, we're going to say this is going to be kind of all blurgy with all stuff in it. We're going to have various hivey stuff in it. There's probably going to be an entranceway to the surface where these bees can obviously fly out of, because they're not going to fly around this corridor. So they're going to use this as their kind of hive. The edge is going to be a bit dodgy as well. These things are going to be a little bit miffed, but we'll roll on the reaction table and see if they're immediately going to attack. It's a 7. I think that is indifferent. Let me double check. 7 is neutral and uncertain. So I think our heroes are going to back off. They're going to kind of just go, right, yeah, we're definitely going in there. 10 killer bees, potential death by stinging straight away. No. We're going to go back down this corridor instead. So they go to the larger corridor. Another round. We roll a 1d20 to see what this chamber has got in it. We have a 14. This is a monster and treasure. Table VG. Okay, treasure. D100. 20. 1,000 copper pieces per level. That's the dungeon level, not the player level. So 1,000 CP is datted around here. With monster. Take 2 rolls on monster table and add 10% to the total on each roll. That's not good. Treasure is hidden by and in. Guarded by. No, we don't got that one. We've got 5. Treasure is hidden by illusion. To change your hide's appearance. Well, that seems a bit extravagant, but maybe this was an old treasure haul at some point. Right, so okay, so it looks like we've got a roll on the. It would have been plus 10% because of the thing, but that's first edition. We are not using first edition. We're using OSE. So we're back onto this again. So we're looking on 1d20. So we're going to say 10%. What's that? 4. No, of course, 2. What am I talking about? So +2 on this roll. First one, 5. So that's going to be 7. Green slime. Aha, that's cool. Right, that makes sense. And second roll, +2. 20. Wolf. That kind of explains where our wolves went. Now, theoretically, maybe that was doors open, and whoever was down here opened the trap door up, or and they let the wolves through, or it was open already and it shut behind them. But for some reason, so we're gonna say there's 3 wolves in here and there's a green slime in here. I think we're gonna say there is gonna be a 60% chance that the wolves are being attacked by the green slime. I think that's fair. Obviously this was a couple of days ago, so it's 5 days ago. So maybe they've been messing around. Maybe they've been messing around there for 4 or 5 days. Maybe they walked away around or come back up, whatever. But we'll say there's 69%. Unbelievable. So they're not being attacked. So right on the edge of this thing, we're going for 3 wolves, and then we're going to have a green slime slobbering around as well. So let's go and check out a battle map. Okay, so I lost my original sheet with my remaining 3 hit dice for the wolves, so I've re-rolled those. They're 2d4 times 10 feet away when we go for the door. 4, 70 feet away, so that puts, what's this, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so we're well off this map. And 75 feet away probably puts them outside of the realm of darkness as well. So what we'll say is first round, our hero stands still. Our second round, our wolves bound towards these things, moving at their normal rate. We're going to say they're right on the edge of the encounter after the first round. Yellow for our heroes and red for our wolves. 6 and 2. Heroes go first. They're going to move. So our fight is going to step around here. Our elves are going to step around here. Our clerics and dwarfs are going to stay where they are, but our thieves are going to kind of spread out and make sure they're kind of a little bit further afield. And then we're going to let rip with some arrows. So we've got a AC of 7. So starting with our thief, got a short bow, attack of 19. We need a 12 or higher. We get a hit against, we'll say against number 1. 2 damage. Just come down to 9. Our second thief, which is our NPC thief, also has a short bow, so but she's got Sacco 17, so that's 10 or higher. There's a hit. 1d6 for 4. 5. And now our elf is going to... Actually, don't know what, I'm going to take that off of number 2, because it's on the other... Oh, actually, no. What was that? So that was 2 off that one. So that's going to be off that one, so that's going to be 1, 3. And then that's 4 off that one, so that's going to be 7. We're far on the actual sides they're on. Our elf is going to be attack of 18, so that's 11 or higher against number 1. That's a miss. And our fighter is 16, so that is going to be 9 or higher against number 2. That's a hit. Number 2 takes 5 damage. Number 2 is dead. Okay. So, we're going to roll morale. And I probably realised as well, I was rolling it for the group. We probably should have to roll it for the group. We should roll it for individuals. So let me just double check their morale. They have a morale of 6. 6 or higher, they're going to flee. Number 1 flees, and 3 stays behind. So number 3 movement rates goes off. Number 3 runs towards our heroes with a movement rate of 60. So well put up with. So number 3 is going to pile into our dwarf for AC4, so it's going to need a 13 or higher. That's a 1. That's a miss. Next round. 2 to 4. Wolf goes first. Miss. Our heroes move. Elf's going to come around here. Fighter's going to come around here. Actually, Fighter's going to stand off a little bit to the left so we don't get skewered by our own arrows from the opposite side. And then we're going to do arrows first of all. So Elf and Thief need a 11. Nope. Thief, we need a 12. Yes, we have a hit. 1 damage. That's our wolf on 10. Our fighter is 10. Fighter is 9 or higher. That's a miss. And our new thief is 10 or higher. Miss. Okay, so arrows are going flying all over the shop. They all miss. Cleric. 11 or higher. Hit. 1d4 plus 1 from a staff. 5 damage. Okay, that is a right old cracking. Wolf's on 5 hit points now. And then our dwarf is going to be 11 or higher. Oh, sorry, 10 or higher. It's a 20. 1d8 plus 2. 10 damage. Gone. Our dwarf. I keep saying dwarf rather than wolf. Our wolf is at -5. So our wolf is dead. So I think for the sake of story, we're going to say our heroes stand at the doorway waiting. Obviously, with the illusion going on, they can't really see anything going on. So let's have a look. Save versus spells. 20. Well, somebody would have made it. So maybe as they're kind of staring in, they can see kind of these copper coins kind of glinting in the light. But as they're kind of observing, this wolf is kind of dashing off and running around this massive chamber. And all of a sudden, there's a kind of a loud scroochy, squelchy noise. And dropping down from the ceiling is a green slime that slaps upon our wolf and starts dissolving it with quite some vigor. So I think our heroes just go, yeah, we're not going in there. There are coins in there, but I don't think it's worth the bother. We'll come back later. So they turn on their heels and they head off back into the corridor. So we've now got the option. Do we go to the stairs, which we haven't actually rolled to see where they go yet, or do we go to the back or on? I think we have to go for the stairs, really. We have to go and see exactly what they were. So let's get the book out again and we'll go and check on the stairs. Okay, so that is 1 round, sorry, 1 turn because of the combat. 50 experience points, 1 turn. We've got a random encounter. We get a 1. Okay, so that combat noise has alerted somebody. Now, my mind, if I was a DM running this for players, I'd say that noise has alerted the bees. The bees have started looking around and they've heard this noise going on and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to. Right, so buzzing down the corridor comes 1d10 killer bees. We got 1 bee. So literally as our heroes turn on the spot, they turn around, there's a bee hanging in the doorway of the kind of that corridor. So now we've got to do the bees. Okay, let's go get the grab the thing for the bees. Okay, so these things are half hit dice, so 2 hit points. Thaco 19, 87. Same as last time. Good guys are in gold. We have a killer bee moving first. So our killer bee is going to buzz down the corridor. Literally as our kind of people's turn around and start marching out, it's going to come down here and have a go at them. 1, 2, 3, it's going to attack the dwarf. 4, 6 is going to attack the cleric. Attacks the dwarf. So it whisks down the corridor. And it's going to try and attack the cleric with its stinger. It's got a Thaco 19. Our dwarf has an AC of 4, so it's going to do 15 or higher. We get a 19. Our dwarf is stung. 4. 2 damage. Puts our dwarf on 13. But we have save versus death for poison and a lodge stinger Around can be step removing. Okay, so we've got save versus poison or die for our dwarf. Okay, where are we? Dagran, our dwarf. Dagran, our dwarf has a saving throw versus poison of 8. Okay, his best saving throw. 8 or higher. Here we go. We get a 1. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so B comes spinning through the door. Our dwarf is completely took by surprise. Before he even notices, the stinger slams into his chest, and he clutches his heart, rolls over on the ground. He's dead. He dies. Okay, now the bit of panic is going to come in again. So, first death of the encounter, we get our 3 morale checks for our NPCs. So, our cleric, first of all, succeeds. Our oh no, sorry, wait a minute, hold on. Fails. That's 11. Cleric starts to panic. Our thief stays in the game, and our magic user is 4, stays okay. So, our cleric starts panicking. So she is going to move on her round, straight past the bee, and off she goes down the corridor. Panicky, panicky, panicky. Our thieves are going to step out like they did last time, and our elves are going to do elves and things are going to do exactly the same. They're going to try and take this thing down with a bow and arrow. They do that. So our elf, first of all, this thing's got a AC of 7. So we need a 11 or higher. 2. Nope. Our thief is going to be Neura is 11 or higher. That's a hit. 1d6, 2. That kills it straight away. So arrow goes straight into this thing. It slumps to the ground with a thud. Its stinger kind of pulls out the chest of the dwarf as it does so. Yeah, they kind of shout to the cleric. Yeah, okay, it's dead. Come back. You know, don't run too far. It's crazy. So she's going to wander back. I think if combat was still going, she would go further and further away. But I think after that, so it's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But we now have a dead dwarf. So again, we're going to kind of recess again. What we're going to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave our dwarf here for a moment, and then we're going to back up to these stairs and figure out what's going on with these stairs, and then we'll see what actually that takes us to. So let's go and grab the book for that. Okay, so that is one more turn on the tracker for the combat. It's one more turn to get to the stairs. No encounter this time round, but we roll on the stairs to see where they go. So, where are we? Stairs is on the next page, isn't it? Yep, stairs on the next page. 1d20. 3. Down 1 level. Okay, so they go down. Down 1. Okay, so our heroes are going to go, yep, we're not going down. We're staying where we are. What are they going to do about our dwarf friend? That's the question. I think they're going to carry him. At least back to here, where the other ones died, because they obviously know how far that is. So they're going to carry him. So I'm going to say they're going to move at a slower movement rate. They're going to move at 30 feet movement rate, and we're going to go back. So 1 round gets them to there. 2 round gets them to there. We have another random encounter chance. We have another random encounter chance. Literally on that corner. Was it 1 round to there, 2 rounds to see we're going to be kind of there again. I think it's going to be more bees. I think that makes sense. 1d10. There's only 10 in maximum, so we're going to roll. It's 6 bees. These bees are going to start flooding out of this corridor and start zapping them. So we're going to have to set that one up now. and see if we can take on 6 bees. Right, let's get that going. Okay, so 2d4 times 10 for an encounter death distance. That's 4. That's 70 feet. That basically takes them into the hive area where they were originally. But they can move 50 feet. Our heroes can move 30 feet. So they're probably going to catch up pretty quickly. So again, heroes in yellow. We get 1 and 5. Bees are going to go first. They're going to move 50 feet. So they're going to be, 10, 20, 30, 40. What is it? 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, they're going to get there in around. I'd say they're going to get there in around, no problem at all. The maximum could be is 50 feet, so they will say they're going to make it there. So these 6 bees come buzzing up this corridor. Obviously, they're facing the rear flanks of our heroes because obviously they were heading out down the corridor. Our 2 thieves are carrying our dwarves, so we're going to have a couple of attacks against our elf and our fighter. So they've got a THAC0 of 19. So our elf AC is 4, so 15 or higher. That's a miss. And our fighter AC is 2, 17 or higher. That's a miss. Okay, so that is pretty much all I can do this round. They're a foot big. Suppose technically we could get 2 in there, but they'd be in the same square. We'll say there's too much going on. The fighters are basically swinging all their arms around and stuff like that. The bees can't get by. They're kind of buzzing around and trying to catch each other, but they can't do so. So that's going to be it. So on their round, they're going to move a couple of feet down the corridor because obviously they need some space to fire these bows. So we're gonna start moving down here a little bit just so we can get some extra distance. Our thieves are going to put their body of the dwarf on the ground. We're going to have spells first. So our magic user actually is going to magic missile. So we're going to do 1d6 damage. Is it 1d6 or 1d6 plus 1? I can never remember what I say. Give me a sec. It's 1d6 plus 1. So 1d6 plus 1 against our hero, which means literally it's got to kill it. It's got half hit dice. So yeah, okay. So magic missile, let's rip the magic missile. Magic user, let's rip the magic missile. B goes down. Okay. So technically speaking, we're now rolling morale for our bees because we have lost a B. And morale for a B is 9. 2's okay. 3's okay. 4's okay. 5's going to flee. 6 is going to flee. Okay, that's fine. And then we've got our missile weapons. So our fighter and our elf are going to shoot. Elf is first. AC of 7 for the bees. Means 11 or higher. That's a hit for 1d6. B number 2 goes down. Thud. B number 3. That is a hit. B number 3 goes down. Okay, we're a little bit better off this time with these. Okay, so next round. 1d6 again for initiative. It's equal initiative, so everyone's going to go at the same time. So 6, 5, and 6 are going to flee back to the nest. They've had enough. They can't get through. They've just thought, well, they'll deal with it. That's fine. They go off. Our hero's going to move down the corridor again, kind of backing up, but obviously B number 4 is going to come swimming in and see if he can do his thing. But because it's exactly the same time, they're going to get an attack as they come towards them, and our B's going to get an attack with a melee. So elf number 1 is a 11 or higher. That's a miss. And our fighter is 9 or higher. That's a hit. Okay. That's dead. Okay. But our dwarf, God dear, my thing skills are getting bad. Designations. So our B is going to attack either our elf or our fighter. 1 to 3 elf, 4 to 6 fighter. It's our fighter. AC of 2, we need a 17 or higher. With a 2, it misses. So as it comes spinning along there, it takes a stab at it. Our fighter takes half a step backwards. Let's whip with the arrow, spears it through the thing, and that's it. They're out of there. They are pick the dwarf up again, and they are gone. So they're going to head back down the corridor yet again. we're going to go for another round. Sorry, another turn for the fighting. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, just before the secret door. No encounter. Another round. Another turn of movement. Sorry, gets us to the secret door. Another turn of movement gets us to the corner. We've got potential secret random encounter. Nope. Another turn of movement gets us to that corner. Another turn of movement gets us just through this door here. Random encounter. Nope. Turn of movement gets us to the junction. Okay, and then another turn of movement gets us to the bottom of the stairs. No random encounter. Another last turn of movement gets us to the top of the stairs and into the outdoors again. So they kind of sit there, they huff and puff around a little bit. They plop our dead dwarf on the ground, probably next to the dead people we buried here under the rocks last time. Well, we've been down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 hours we've been down here. So I think they're going to just kind of sit down, they're going to kind of reassess, decide what's going to go on, and kind of make a decision. So what are they going to do? This is the question. They've lost their fighter, which is kind of their, or that's their dwarf even, which is their kind of their heavy hitter as such. There's a bit of equipment they can kind of start divvying out between them, and obviously the bare essentials for survival, like torches and all that kind of stuff. But no one can use a battle axe. Actually, our fighter probably can use a battle axe, but he doesn't need to. So they're going to make a decision what's going on. So what we're going to say is, they are here to hunt for treasure. So that's kind of what they're going to do if they think it's possible. What they might do though is go back to this location now, because obviously they know there's bees down here. Maybe they just don't want to encounter the bees anymore. They might go back down here and try this other door. But I say there's a 40% chance, or 4 in 6 chance they're gonna carry on, and a 5 or a 6 they're gonna pack up. They're gonna go back to Brine Keep and see what's going on. It's a 1. They're gonna carry on. Okay, so they wait for about half an hour or so. We're gonna have yeah, I think we'll say they wait. We'll say they wait. Yeah, we'll say they wait half an hour. Okay, on that half an hour, they get an encounter just before they're about to head back in again. So they wait half an hour. They pick all their gear up. They can head back in again. We are going to roll on the encounter for plains. No, forest, aren't we? We're forest. Let's have a look at forest. One D8. 4. We get a flyer. And forest flyer. No, flyer is on table number 1. 1D12. Oh, that's a 10. There's 12. There's 12. A 1. Wow. Yeah, cockatrice. Those things are horrible. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to roll on our 2d6 for our encounter. See what happens. It's a 4. That's not good. I think that's annoyed. Where are we? 4. Unfriendly may attack. I think may attack is attack, pretty much. Okay, so this thing's 5 hit dice with an AC of 6. Save versus petrify if you're hit by the beak. Thacker of 15. This is quite nasty. So, bringing back our little display here. We'll spread our people out a little bit because obviously they were resting rather than doing anything else. Okay, 5 hit dice. Oh, 5, that's 13. That's 20, 21, 25, 30. Points 30. Let me see, 5. Oh, 86, sorry. 86. Thaco 15. 1d6 plus petrify. Okay. Right. As normal. Cockatrice goes first. Right. It's got some targets that can hit anybody. So it's going to go. We're going to say it's going to go for one of these two. 1 2. 1 3. Elf 4 6 fighter. It's a 1. Goes for the elf. So it scampers through the ruins. Comes over the nose. It's got Thaco 15. Our elf has a AC of 4, which means we need a 11 or higher. We get 18. Tappy tappy tap. To 4. Our elf takes 4 hit points damage and goes down to 6 yet again. I just need to make a save versus Petrify. So, elf Petrify saving throw is a 13 or higher. It's a 13. She saves. Okay, so elf starts looking a bit grey around the gills, but does the same throw. That's that. Right, so next round, on their return, she's going to back up, surprisingly enough. Everyone else is going to back up as well because this thing's nasty. So they're going to back up, back up, back up. But then they're going to let with some missile weapons. So this thing has an AC of 6. So start with an elf. We've got 12 or higher is a miss. Fighter. 10 or higher is a miss. Crikey. 12 or higher for our thief. Miss. 12 or high. Sorry, that was our thief. That's a miss anyway. Other thief is 12, 14 or higher. That's a miss. Okay, we're not doing very well here at all. That's pretty much everybody. No one's going to tackle this thing face to face. They're going to try and skew it with shots. So, next round. It goes again. In it goes. It's a 1. It misses. Okay, elf takes a couple of steps backwards again. We're going to need roll some rolls. So, elf is miss. Fighter. Miss by 1. Unbelievable. Thief is a miss. Unbelievable. Other thief is a hit. We have 1d6. Yep. 6 damage. 24 hit points. Okay. So that was our PC thief. Okay, next round. It's equal. Okay. We're going to say on a 1 to 3 it's going to continue with the elf, and a 4 to 6 is going to go for our thief. It goes for our elf, continues for our elf. Okay. But all plays out at the same time. So attack against the elf is a miss. So at the same time it does that, our elf is going to back off again. We're going to pepper it with shots again. Hit this time. Hit from the fighter. Hit from our thief. Miss from our second thief. So we are looking at 3d6. 6, 8, 10 damage in total for that round. We want 14 hit points. Next round. It beats it again. So this time it's going to come in again. It's a 20. It's a hit. D6 damage. It's a 1. Puts our elf down on 2. 5 hit points. But we need the same throw versus petrification. 13 or higher. It's a 3. Our elf is petrified. She turns to stone on the spot. Everyone panics a little bit. 3 attacks against it this time. 13 from our thief. 19 is going to miss by 1. That's going to miss. Fight is going to miss. Okay, yeah, everyone's got the panic on. Cleric, morale. Oh god, 2d6. Cleric stays in spot. Thief stays in spot. Other guy stays in spot. Okay. Next round. Equal. Move towards our magic user NPC. It's going to be... Yep, it's hit. Magic user NPC. 4 hit points. Our magic user NPC goes down on the spot. Oh, with a stab. Our thieves are going to take a couple of steps backwards again. Attacks. 12 or higher. That is a miss, I believe. Yeah, we need 14. Nope, 14 and a 10 or higher. Nope. Equal. Oh. Thief NPC is a miss. We move back. 12 or higher. Hit. 12 or higher. Hit. 10 or higher. Hit. 3d6 damage. 9. 12 damage. It's on 2 hit points. Next round. It goes first again. 1 to 2, it's going to attack our NPC. 3 to 4, it's 3 to 6. Sorry, 1 to 3, it's going to attack our NPC. 4 to 6, it's going to attack our player. It attacks our dude there. That's a hit. NPC piece. Thief takes 2 damage. Puts on 1. Same for versus petrification. Is an 8. I believe that is a petrification. Where are we? Yes, we are. PP 13. Yep. She turns to stone. They're round. Back away. Back away. Back away. Okay, we've lost 50% of our people now. But we've only got 1 NPC. So she's staying where she is. I think in a sense of desperation, our next round maybe. This round not. So 12 or higher. Is it? 10 or higher. Is it? It's dead. 9 damage in total. It's gone down. So they skew it with a couple of shots from the bows and arrows. And they look at each other and they go, yeah, this isn't good. I think we're going to head back now. We've got 3 petrified people here that we can maybe we can do something about. If we can get some flesh to stone stuff going on, that I think we need to go back to Brine Keep and figure out if that's a thing and something we can do about it. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is, let me just double check the time. Yeah, I think we're going to do is cut that short for today. With half our crew wiped out. And then next session, they're going to head back to Brine Keep. And then we'll see what we can do from there. But let's see if we can find some petrification, anti-petrification stuff. So there you go. So, yep. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this little venture into the dungeons and the various dangers that are lurking around outside. And hopefully I will see you on another version of this OSE Hexcrawl very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.